This movie gets 3.5 bananas out of 5, according to the NoMoreStinkyMonkeys.com website. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Somehow your words just hypnotize me. That's the lyrics to the only Notorious Big song that I know. I find it ironic because I don't have a clue why his words hypnotize anyone. I didn't understand it back when he was alive, and I don't get it now after watching his life story on film. But it doesn't change the fact that this is a really good movie about the rise and sudden death of an American icon. Notorious B.I.G. was 24 when he was shot in his SUV while driving through Los Angeles one night in 1997. It was probably a response to the East Coast-West Coast wars that the rap world had going on at the time, but we'll never know because the case was never solved. The movie, told from Big's point of view and produced by Sean Puffy Combs, is definitely slanted in their favor. If they had a dispute with Tupac Shakur, it's never shown here. Instead, Tupac gets shot by outsiders and then blames Big and Puffy, thus setting the war off. And Suge Knight of Death Row Records doesn't help matters by throwing down the gauntlet at the MTV Movie Awards. Big's real name was Chris Wallace, and he looks up to Tupac throughout the film, but then things go sour after Tupac gets shot. Why Tupac would blame him is really never explained. Maybe jealousy, but whatever the case, both are dead and you don't hear much about the war anymore. Wallace was born into the rough streets of do-or-die Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. He goes to Catholic school as a kid and is a good student and does what his mother tells him. But once he starts hanging out with the local street gang, selling drugs, his schooling and behavior go south. His mother, played by the usually great Angela Bassett, is a struggling single mom trying to raise him right and obviously very naive. At one point she discovers crack on a plate that he's cutting up for sale, but she thinks it's old mashed potatoes. Between being thrown out of her house and then spending time in jail, Biggie's chance to rehabilitate himself seems very unlikely. Fortunately, he finds a guardian angel in Sean Combs, or Puff Daddy, who is a rising hip-hop entrepreneur and sees something special in Biggie's raps. What he sees is a new East Coast voice that can capture the realism of the ghetto that the West Coast guys like NWA and Snoop Dogg seem to have a monopoly on. Before that, I guess rapping was about bragging, and the Dr. Dre's of the world made it more about street journalism, reporting on the war in the hood. I get that part of it, but there's no melody to this. When Run DMC rap, it sounds like a song. It has a structure. The lack of structure in Biggie's lyrics make it, for me, unlistenable. But the connection he made with his fans is undeniable, as shown in the video footage from his actual funeral. He spoke to them and they loved him for it. And this movie praises him for it, but doesn't shy away from his other side either. It shows his life, warts and all, with the anger, ego, and adulteries that changed him from a sweet kid on the streets to a thug, and then through an accident back into a responsible man. Jamal Woolard does a great job playing Biggie, and while he starts off real fat, he seems to grow even bigger as the movie progresses, a la Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. Derek Luke, who I always liked, gives P. Diddy a personality that the real one lacks. And Bassett as the mom seems kind of wooden here, like a soap opera actress, not like the Oscar nominee we all respect. But finally there's Natchery Norton, who is fantastic as Biggie's girlfriend and eventual protege, Little Kim. What a mouth on her. Ciao from the Predator.